Hey guys, it's KC Jilly. This is August the 3rd, and by the 15th, we're supposed to start some of our fall crop in the ground. And so I've been trying to work and get another garden bed or two ready. The ones you guys have been looking at all year have my summer stuff in them, but I will squeeze in some of these winter crops in between, because even though I have the garden beds fully loaded, so right here, for instance, I have this area and I have all my little sucker tomatoes planted on one side of that drip tape. And they're tight and they're close, and they're gonna do okay, I hope. And as it gets towards the fall, maybe I'll get me another round of them. But either way, their time is short. I'm hoping to get enough because I've planted so many that I can do something with it. But this other side of the drip tape on each one of them, and I may even put another piece of drip tape here after I clean this up and dig that out and fix the dirt up a little bit. But I have room, okay? And I'm gonna try to squeeze in some of my winter crops in this area. And I've got stuff planted in here, a little bit of summer crops, but I'm also gonna try in this area to go on the other side of the tape with a lot of my little winter crops, okay? Got them protected from the sun, both locations. Have a shade cloth. So that'll help right now in this 9,000 degree weather around Texas. Where I previously had my peppers here along this, all that's going away. Right here, this section, after these melons are done, I'm gonna bring this garden out almost to this walkway here, where I've laid this paper down here. And that's gonna be garden all the way down. Later on, I'll give it a border and repair the soil. And I'll leave my fig in there, and I'll leave my sneezo. I call them sneezy just to aggravate my wife. But I'll leave the bushes. They're not hurting anything, and they'll just add to it. But in between them, I'll have room to plant stuff next year, because I also have my seeds for January ready. I'm leaving these beets right now, but a time is coming when, after they're harvested, I will no longer plant along the edge of this greenhouse, because I'm gonna need to get down here and put some new plastic along the edge to seal it up for the winter time. Okay, I've almost emptied out all my stuff here. I do have my blueberry over there, but all these other ones, I've been getting all of the little tomato plants out. I see maybe a sunflower growing there, but I've got a couple of tomatoes in there, and I'll put them out as well. You can see I've tore down all my cucumbers here. They were burnt up, they had enough. Anyway, if you look over there at that fence, over there at that fence by the lawnmower, it's loaded with a fresh group of cucumbers, okay? On the other side of this fence, all those wood blocks, they're gone. Now, I may use that space also for gardening still, but I will put a better border. This was temporary. I'm getting this whole thing going, and now that I'm kind of getting it established, I'm trying to clean things up. Here on this side, there will be nothing either. Nothing will come back here again. So I'm trying to use drip tape now and go on both sides of it and use my space to the maximum. And now you guys follow me inside. Okay guys, I'm back in the house, and I want to show you the seeds that I plan on planting. So first off, all of these seeds, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of all of it into the ground by August, or into starter kit by August. Plain old broccoli, several different kinds of cabbage. I have never tried any of this Chinese stuff, but I'm game to try it. And I'm really hoping to get some cauliflower this year. Last year I put them in the ground, and I will not make that mistake again, because whatever kind of critters we have out here, they love this stuff. They chew it down. As soon as it gets going, they chew it down. So I'm not making that mistake. All of these things here, I will definitely be starting first in a starter kit, because it's too juicy and tasty for our insects. Now, I don't know what this is. Like I say, I'm gonna try it. I'll do the same thing with it. These guys can go in the ground. These guys are gonna go straight in the ground. This, I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I've never grown kale. I hear all this stuff about it. I don't really care about what everybody else says. If it tastes good and I can find a way to use it with my salads and stuff, then I'm all about it. okay? And I tried this last year and I didn't have a lot of luck. My timing was off. I hadn't studied up on it real well. And to be honest, from what it sounds like it tastes like, I'm not sure that I even want to eat it, but I do want to grow it. So I'm going to try to grow this stuff, and then maybe my wife or some of my family might want to try it out. So anyway, I would like to get a few herbs going and hopefully get them to go to seed if I like them. That way, next year, some of this stuff will come back on its own. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, this is for the immediate. This is all August 15th. I need to be sure to have it all started by then. And possibly in October, I will put this stuff in the ground. All right. Now, we move over a little bit. And I have these things that I need to get started around December anyway, for sure. And I'll be honest with you, once it cools off, probably more like in October, when I put all of these things in the ground, if it's cool enough, I will probably try to start all of this stuff. But for sure, I want it going by December 1st, okay? I'm running early because our weather is running just a little bit different around here. I don't know what the deal is, but you got to get ahead of things if you want something. So, cilantro, all of that stuff, it'll germinate pretty good and comes up. It's keeping it. It's kind of finicky. It likes cool weather. So like I say, got to let it cool off. Now the onions. I've never tried to grow onions. My brother-in-law brought me some bulbs last year in about the middle of the spring, probably March or April, to put in. I knew nothing about them. I stuck them in the ground. They didn't do anything. Okay, so now I'm starting from seeds. So I want to get an early start. Here's what I also have learned. I ordered this as a big group of stuff online, okay? And every single one of these onions, every one of them are the wrong kind for my location. I'm in the South, and these are all like long-term onions. They grow better up north. So that's why I want to try to get them in early and start them. Leave them in the ground, show them some love. I've been watching lots of videos and trying to learn. And instead of harvesting them in the spring, wait till maybe next year in the fall. Maybe I'll have some of this stuff ready. I'm not sure. I'm hoping by this time next year, this stuff will be ready. Because these things need a long time to grow. So if the sun doesn't kill me or the ice doesn't kill them, I'm going to try to plant them in my greenhouse underneath my shelf in some of that space that I haven't used. And I may start them off in a little kit, some of them first, to make sure at least some, that I have some growing, and I'll put them underneath the light out at the secret garden. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So I kind of went over my year so far since January the 1st, which is when I planted everything that you saw me harvest all year. Kept it in a greenhouse with a heater in it until it was warm enough. Planted it really too early, because they didn't do much until the weather got about right in our normal season anyway. So, but everything came on along, and the things that I noticed that I missed, that I actually had to go to the store for on occasion, were garlic and onions. Those are the two vegetables that I actually had to go and buy. And I didn't like that. Now I had to get lettuce too, but you know, it gets hot here that I'm not gonna win the lettuce war. I have nowhere cool that I can keep it where I'm going to spend money on electricity for the light. I'm just not going to do that for lettuce. So I'll go spend the $1 or $2 for a head of lettuce at the store. But onions, I can do that. I may have got the wrong ones, but I'm gonna make it happen. And my wife last year in October took a Coke bottle, like a 1 liter bottle, laid it over on its side, cut 2 little circles in it up on the top, just about the size that a clove of garlic, a full clove that hasn't had anything broken off of it, will set down in there, and the root system of it will make contact with water when you fill it up with water. So you got a sideways 1 liter bottle. I use my contact stuff to show you. Right, and this thing, we got it full of water. She cut a hole here and another hole here, and then placed a little clove of garlic here and another one here. And as long as that water made contact, what we saw is in 2 weeks, the roots filled up, because we had a clear bottle, okay? They filled up the bottle. Those things were so well rooted in just water, okay? From there, they also sprouted a little bit of top leaves, the green that you see. What we did from there is we broke apart all the single cloves, which each had their own root system that we had already established. And then you peeled the garlic itself off, and you just have starts, lots of starts. It was really easy. It was a really cool little method. If we do it again, I'll try to video it for you so we can show you guys. We watched it on YouTube. Another person showed us. It's out there if you want to go check it out, but worked really well. And we got a little bit of garlic to grow, but I did not have the drip irrigation and stuff sat up at that point. And so it didn't do too good. You know what I mean? It needed some more water in our hot climate. We pulled them out early and used them anyway. But they were small and they weren't as good as they could have been. So, garlic and onions are on the list. And you guys now know where I'm going from here. So, it's part of the fall garden. That's the funny thing here. You see fall garden on YouTube and instantly you start thinking about almost winter and starting the winter vegetables. And yes, we are. But I'm still got summer stuff going out there too. I transferred a pumpkin over on this side of my house where I showed you one of those new gardens. I put it in there. It hadn't done very good in my little pot. If it doesn't die from the shock, then I have a feeling it's going to spread out and go crazy over there. I've got Israeli melons over there. I've got sugar baby watermelons. I have all different types of indeterminate and hybrid tomatoes planted all out there. All this summer stuff going. I still have some squash, which for the people who follow me all the time, you know, Asen, my helper, he got out there with my pruning shears when I wasn't looking. And boy, did he help me out. He cut down a bunch of my squash, and he had seen me earlier getting rid of all that old cucumber bush. So, if the dogs and the kids don't get me, and the weather don't beat me, y'all know what I'm up to. So y'all come back and see how this stuff progresses, and we'll catch you next time.